How does a VC firm work?
So when you invest into a startup,
Yeah.
you're investing in venture capital is equity-based financing as opposed
Meaning
to
you get a percentage
correct
of equity in a business.
So as
from
opposed to
making that
debt,
investment.
where
Yeah.
you're just gonna pay it back and that's it. Running a venture capital firm, I'm not investing just my own money. I'm
Yeah.
fundraising from other people, taking that money and investing that money into startups.
You wanted to be a lawyer. What changed?
I looked at my bank account one day, even though I was being highly paid as a lawyer. I was like,
What's going on?
wait a goddamn minute. And then I realized this business got to make some money.
How the hell did you find time to do that while still being an attorney?
I slept like 4 hours a day
Oh, wow.
or a night. Yeah. Now
What
you're
is Series B? What is Series A? What is that? Give us that quick masterclass in this.
talking about the stage of a business. You are the business owner. You want to serve 1,000 customers a day in your restaurant. What do you need to do?
Build another location.
That's what you got to do.
Gotcha.
Some people are giving you their hard-earned money. Some of these venture firms got a lot of money that ain't hard-earned at all. Like, I wouldn't say that Elon Musk hard-earned his money.
Okay.
And he's going to be a trillionaire. Nobody should be a trillionaire.
Why not?
Why? There is no good person who is a billionaire because there are already Black billionaires.
How do people reach out to you?
So me,
Yes.
you can find me all over social media at Deja Don't Deja.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Biz Tips. Guys, as you can see, this is a first. I'm doing this live. I'm excited. So to do this live, I had to bring someone that I not only respect, but I was super impressed when I met her. Everything she's been able to accomplish, and I can't wait for her to share. Khadijah, what's up?
All the things. Everything. Everything.
What do you mean, everything? Tell me more. Who is Khadijah? Let's start there.
I never start with the professional stuff when people ask me
That's
about
good.
myself. I'm like, oh, I'm from Savannah. I went to Spelman. I'm
Hey.
a huge HBCU
Let's
supporter. I'm a Georgia girl. Folks who from Georgia will know what I mean when I say I'm a DSGG.
So I'm not from Georgia, so you gotta tell me what that means.
That means I'm a down south Georgia girl.
Okay. DSGG. All right,
So
bet.
back in the day, before Pastor Troy was out on his own, he was part of a group,
Okay.
DSGB. They were down south Georgia boys.
Okay.
So yeah,
I like that. I like that.
We rep Georgia real hard.
I love it. So I listened somewhere, because I listened to a few different podcasts, that you were super goal-oriented since you were young. Like, wanted to go to Spelman when you was like 8.
Yeah,
And tell us about that. Wanted to get to be a lawyer before you were like 13, right?
I just knew what I wanted to do.
That's
I
amazing.
was very focused. I think what's the term? I was a self-starter.
I love it. Not a lot of people can say that, because, when you're at that age, you just want to play, watch cartoons. I mean, I did.
Well, I will say I was a big reader. So my sister taught me how to read when I was 3.
Oh, wow.
And I was always so bookish and just reading all kinds of things. And I feel like it really gives you so many viewpoints of the world.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, there's so many things I could do. Like, I got to do it all.
Nah, that's amazing, because it brings that drive in you, right? Like, I remember when I was in Haiti, growing up, when I first learned how to read, I was reading everything, all the signs. I didn't have a lot of books to read, but I was reading all the signs. What is this? What is that? So I know that feeling. Now, you were able to kind of like fast forward, not just go to the Spelman College, right? But also you went to Harvard for law school.
I did go to Harvard.
So why Harvard?
So it was the best law school actually, I take that back. It wasn't actually technically ranked as the best law school when I went there, but around the world, Harvard had a brand recognition that no other law school had. And so I knew, as a Black woman from Savannah, Southern, a little ratchet, a little turned up, not super, I won't say I'm not professional, but I'm very casual. I'm going to speak my mind.
Yeah.
I am not a code switcher.
Yeah.
So what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
And it can be very off-putting to people sometimes, particularly people of a lighter hue. And so I knew that I needed to go somewhere and get the type of credentials that nobody could doubt. And so I went to Harvard because, like, y'all better put some respect on my name. No matter what you think about me, how I sound, how I look, how I present. Oh, she look crazy. You cannot take away what I have done in my credentials. So
that's amazing. Congrats again. I mean,
thank you.
First, the HBCU. I think a lot of people don't understand how powerful HBCU is. I went to Cheney, so I know HBCU love. Let's go. Right. And then Harvard for law school. Now, you wanted to be a lawyer. What changed?
Actually becoming a lawyer. I tell people all the time, my biggest advice in life so far, and I'm only 36, so I can't give y'all the wisdom of a 60-year-old. But so far, quit. Like, I hate when people are like, oh, we don't like quitters and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bruh, why would you double down on something that does not bring you any joy, that you do not like to do, just because you've invested time and energy into it so far? I could have continued to be a lawyer for the next 50 years and been miserable. Why would I do that? Like, okay, I did it. I didn't like it. Do something else.
I think that's fascinating because we look at, growing up, they tell us, always give your all in whatever you do, right? Either business, family, marriage, whatever. But the word quitting always make you feel like you're failing. What's your thoughts on that?
It definitely is supposed to make you feel bad. And I'm like, fuck that. You know what feels bad is doing something that you hate for decades just because you think you should. That feels bad. Like,
that's true.
I have no idea when the Lord is going to take me out. So until then, I'm going to try my best to at least enjoy. I mean, we live in hell anyways. Look at our administration. Look at what's going on around us. We ain't got no ozone layer. Like, the price is too damn high for everything.
Not just rent.
We live in Donald Trump's America. You mean on top of that, you want me to be in a career that I hate? Nah, can't do it.
And I'm glad a lot of people doesn't have that strength to make that shift, but you did. So congrats on that. And you went and started a Google Sheets business. Like that when I heard that was crazy, but it was super smart. So tell us that story.
I was at a big law firm. My thought process was I was going to become a U.S. attorney.
Okay. Just like on TV.
Once you start practicing law, you realize nothing is like it is on TV at all. Everything is a lot more boring. But I thought at least I can focus on criminal justice reform from the inside and be able to have some impact, which I do not believe is even possible at this point. But I was clerking for a judge. I was doing this 1-year-long clerkship. And my goal was after that, I would try to become an assistant U.S. attorney and, work my way up from there. And I got into this clerkship and I was like, no. I cannot go to a U.S. attorney's office. I can't think of anything worse than locking Black people up all day, every day as my job. So I went through what I like to call my quarter life crisis. I was a little depressed, but
at 25,
depressed at 20. Well, I was 27 to be fair. But I, as my hobby, kind of just self-soothing activity, started building a Google spreadsheet, and I was just cataloging Black businesses in there.
Wow.
I started with a few that I heard about, and I started adding to it whenever I heard about a new one. And then it became my mini escape. So I just started researching different businesses and adding to it. And my thought process was, work sucks. and I'm just seeing Black people go to jail and prison all the time. How do I do a little something for the Black community when I can? I'm like,
Wow.
okay, at the bare minimum, the very least I can do
Yeah.
is spend my money with Black owned businesses and try to empower some of us who are trying to do something
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
and
Trying to
are,
impact the world. Yeah.
exactly. So that was my goal. Like, I just want to buy Black. I just want to make it easier for myself so I can refer back to my spreadsheet when I'm looking for something. And then I started telling family and friends about it. And then they were like, oh, you got anybody that does this? Or you know anyone who has toothpaste?
So you
know
created yellow
anybody?
pages for Black people.
Just in my Google spreadsheet. And
Wow.
then it got a little overwhelming that people were asking me about it so much that I was like, oh, this could actually be something. So I built it into a website, and then we just kind of went from there. Everything was very fortuitous. So it was me being extremely focused
Yeah.
and also being in the right place at the right time.
I want to go a little bit deeper here, right? Because from my experience, attorneys, they work crazy hours. So how the hell did you find time to do that while still being an attorney?
I slept like 4 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
Or a night. Yeah.
So you literally had no time. You just kind of like, you would just start making it work. You know?
People make things work all the time, especially Black people.
Yeah.
We are the
resourceful,
literal kings and queens and theys and thems of making it work. Like, we gonna make it work. We're gonna find a way every way. So, I mean, and I am not comparing myself to what our ancestors went through at all, because it's completely different.
Yeah.
But you're talking about, we had enslaved people who were living under some of the harshest conditions, being worked involuntarily all the time.
For centuries.
And still, many people found a way to do additional work for the smallest amount of pay to eventually purchase their freedom and purchase the freedom of family members. Like, we have been doing the impossible for centuries. So me finding some time to work on my Google spreadsheet and then work on my business on the side when I was being a lawyer, that was, I won't say it was nothing, but it's what we were bred to do.
But you took it deeper though. You literally, from my understanding, you build it into a real actual business.
Yeah.
So what was that business model that made it work? And how did you even, because I meet a lot of lawyers, they're very focused on that profession, but not like, they might have a side hustle, but probably not making any money. How did you figure it out? Okay, I got to make this thing make money, and I got to,
I looked at my bank account one day, even though I was being highly paid as a lawyer. I was like,
what's going on?
Wait a goddamn minute. And then I realized this business got to make some money. Like, I can't just pour all my money into it. It got to make some money. So I tried out different things. I think that's the thing, like trial and error, figure out based on who your customers are, what they really want. And we started doing some merch, and we just like, I literally talk to people, test it, different things to put on like our shirts and our mugs and all this stuff. And we ended up using the phrase doing dope Black things. That was like our catchphrase all the time.
I like that.
Doing dope Black things. So I had it on mugs, I had it on shirts. And it's so crazy because the Nihilist was sold in 2021. That was the name of my first company.
Wow.
And
that's around COVID. So you launched this business
I launched the first product March 1st, 2020.
Right before COVID.
Literally, right before.
That's perfect timing.
I still, like, I see people I know wearing doing dope Black things, t-shirts. I just went to Chicago last month. I stayed with my friend.
Wow.
And she had her doing dope Black things mug. And I was
That's
like,
so dope.
you still got that mug? It's so fun to just see something that you created, and people like rocked with it. And then we launched subscription boxes. So we did a quarterly subscription box. We would curate a mix of different Black-owned products. And I was traveling with my mom literally this weekend. And she pulled out, I was like, do you have any lotion? She was like, oh, I got this little balm. And she pulled out, I'm like, didn't I get it to you? She's like, yeah, it was in my Nala subscription box.
That's amazing.
I was like, bruh, we really did something. I have a webinar that I'm actually running later on today. And I was posting about the webinar this week, and I was part of what I'm doing is talking to people about how to fund your business without investors.
Let's talk about that.
Right.
I'm so glad you brought that topic, because you think about it, right? We hear people get glorified for raising tons of money, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then how about the people that cannot raise that type of money, that doesn't have that type of network?
Not even the people who cannot raise, the people who should not raise, which is the majority of people, particularly when it comes to venture capital. Folks get patted on the back for raising a whole bunch of money. And it's almost like there's a direct correlation with the amount of money that you raised and the likelihood that you are to be in court for a felony. They say like the Forbes 30 under 30 list is how you know who's going to be committing white collar crimes. And it's so true. Like,
oh man,
raising money does not a business make.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because you hear, oh, I just raised $100 million. But how much sales did the business actually do?
Beyond sales, if you raised $100 million and people who are investing in you are expecting that you're going to multiply that money, you better build not even $1 billion business, because that's only a 10x, and they want more than that. You need to be building a $5 billion business in order for that raise of $100 million to make any kind of sense at all. And the chances are you're not going to do that. So most likely, you're not going to return that capital.
All right. Well, I know we're kind of going to a different topic, but I think it's super valuable right now, right? For that, the now list, you didn't raise any capital. You basically bootstrapped the most of the thing, right?
I raised capital on a crowdfunding platform that was incentive based. So I didn't give away any equity. When I sold the company, I still owned 100% of the company.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Not people that sold can't say that.
Exactly.
And then, right, so you exited, and now you're in the space where you do venture capital. What the hell is that? I mean, it's like, very, people hear the name, oh, I'm VC, but nobody really explain what the hell is that? What is that business?
What the hell even is that? So venture capital is a form of private equity financing. So you have public markets.
Yeah, like the
stock market.
Yeah, yep.
Anybody can go buy a stock on Robinhood or whatever platform you use. Then you have private markets. These are private opportunities that are offered to a smaller group of people. They're not necessarily advertised widely public necessarily.
So like a Facebook, when
you're not going to be going on to Facebook usually and seeing an opportunity to invest into a venture-backed startup. Typically, crowdfunding has changed a little bit of that, because there are some equity-based crowdfunding platforms, but typically this is a private opportunity offered to a smaller set of people at an earlier stage in the business. Venture capital typically focuses on what are considered to be earlier stage businesses. You're talking about Series B and before.
Okay.
So now
what is Series B? What is Series A? What is that? Give us that quick masterclass in this.
Talking about the stage of a business. So right now you have typically family and friends, super early. You might be like idea stage.
Yeah.
Pre-seed, seed, Series A, Series B, all the way beyond. My personal opinion is that everything past the Series B is a Ponzi scheme, but we'll get to that later.
That's another episode.
That's a whole other episode. But it just defines the stage of the company. You have some not necessarily parameters, but some general thoughts about how much money you would be raising at each
Gotcha.
stage, the progress of the company at each stage, and just expectations
Yeah.
around level of customers, revenue, etc. So it's very common for a pre-seed company to have very little revenue
Gotcha.
and to be very early. They
Yeah.
might be starting to gain a little bit of
Traction.
traction with
Okay.
customers, etc., but they're still very early. If you're Series B, you better have some pretty significant revenue and
Gotcha.
some, like, not even signs of product market fit. You found product market fit, you're scaling, you're going into growth stage. Like what you're doing now is growing.
Okay, so I'm gonna put it in my lame's turn as, a business owner that's trying to figure this out, right? So I started a business. I have this idea, but I know I need money. I go to friends and family. That's pre-seed,
That's
correct?
friends and family. That
That's
might
just
be even
friends and
before
family.
pre-seed.
Gotcha. And
There
then
are some instances where people are going straight into pre-seed funding though.
gotcha. So now, with that money, I may put it in the business. Maybe I got it to 100,000. At that point, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to get some more money. So that's when I go to like a pre-seed,
A seed.
a seed. And seed is who exactly? Private people that I know that maybe have money, like an angel
It
investors.
depends. It can be any of those.
Gotcha.
So it really depends on your network
Mm-hmm.
and who you can find to invest. So you might raise enough seed capital from grants,
Yeah.
government funding, family and friends, or angels
Yeah.
to not ever go to venture capital funding. And then even beyond that, there's so many investors or types of investors
Yeah.
that venture capital is still relatively niche. Like these are terms that we're using in the venture capital space to outline companies, but
Okay.
most companies are not going to get venture capital funding and they shouldn't. They're not really built for that.
What's
Because
built for that? Like, how do you know this is a company that need to get funding?
in my opinion,
Yeah, your
in my
personal opinion.
opinion, tech companies, you
Okay.
have to have a tech component. And the reason why I say that is
Mm-hmm.
because if you are building a restaurant,
Yeah.
right? Let's say you've got a restaurant right here. We're on Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
You got a restaurant on Lowry, and your restaurant is 2,000 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
How many customers can you have at one time in a 2,000 square foot
Let's say
restaurant?
about 30 to 50.
30 to 50. So how
Yeah.
many people do you think you can serve each day if you're open all day in that restaurant?
Roughly, let's say maybe a couple hundreds.
Okay. So
Going
200
in and out,
customers a
yeah.
day. You are the business owner. You want to serve 1,000 customers a day
Mm-hmm.
in your restaurant. What do you need to do?
Build another location.
That's what you got to do.
Gotcha, gotcha.
You can't serve
Yeah, you could only go
1,000
as far as
people
for
in a restaurant that only
Mhm.
holds 200.
That's good.
So you've got to build another location. You've got to hire more people to work at that location. You've got to put the equipment in that location.
Yeah.
You've got to run that location. You got to get the food.
Yep.
And you've got to get all the things that you need, the tables, chairs,
Same
supply,
system,
everything.
everything. Boom.
You've got to get that. And every time that you want to expand,
Yeah.
you've got to make that restaurant bigger, or you got to get another
another one.
restaurant and you've got to hire more people and do that thing
Gotcha.
over and over. If you are, what tech company can I talk about? Because I usually talk about Spotify, but I'm tired of giving Spotify to shine. Okay. Let's say you are Klarna. Have you ever used
Yeah,
Klarna
of course.
to
Yeah.
do the digital version of
Payment.
layaway?
Yeah.
Every time I look at it, I do it just because I'm like, oh, why would I want to pay now when I could pay later? But it reminds me of when we used to go to TJ Maxx when
And
I
you
was
had to
little.
put things on
Put up
layaway.
things on layaway and be like, okay, I'm gonna put this on, I'm gonna come back and okay, with the plan. And I'm like, oh man, we are doing the same thing now except digitally. And we
There you
think it's
go.
so fancy.
I know.
And
Oh,
it's
it's brand new.
$1 billion company. I'm like, my mama was doing this at the Marshalls when I was a child. But anywho, if you are Klarna,
Mm-hmm.
you have a technology
Yeah.
that allows people to pay in installments when
Yep.
they're paying for things online. If you want to serve today, let's say today you have 500,000 customers and
Gotcha.
tomorrow you want to double. You want to serve
A
another
million. Yeah.
500,000 customers. Literally tomorrow, what do you need?
More money, expand the software that I'm using, expand the backend that I'm using. That's where virtual
So
Gotcha.
back in,
Yeah.
you know, you already have the infrastructure to do what you're
Yeah.
doing. So maybe you need to have some more cloud storage
Mm-hmm.
and you need to be
More
tapped into more
developers.
restaurant,
Yeah.
maybe more
Yeah.
developers.
Yeah, with AI, maybe an AI tool to add to it. There we
So
go. I
maybe
see.
you have to hire a couple more developers. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you need some more cloud storage so that your system doesn't break because you
Mm-hmm.
have that many more
Customers
customers.
on the platform. Yeah.
But in general, what you have to do as a software company in order to serve a big bump in customers tomorrow versus
Mm-hmm.
what a restaurant has to do are very different
Yeah.
because your growth is not as dependent on all of these finite physical resources
Gotcha.
as the restaurants.
Gotcha.
Their growth is limited by labor, space, equipment, supply chain. If you're Klarna, you don't even really have a supply chain like
Yeah.
that for real that you need to be worried about. You just got to make sure the system doesn't break. It can handle the extra load. You can plug into more websites and do this whole Afterpay thing for more people tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the cost of doing that and the resources required as well as the input required is much more marginal than it is for a restaurant.
I see.
So because of that, a restaurant can't grow exponentially. No one's going to invest venture capital into a restaurant.
Yeah.
Because if they're like, I want this investment to multiply by 100
Yeah.
within a short time span, I mean, in order for a restaurant business to do that, it would probably have to do some highly unethical things in order to make that happen. Klarna,
Yeah.
you know, your investment can grow by 100x in 5 years.
Gotcha.
Because they add a few more developers who are in there jamming, they get some more cloud space.
Boom.
They can serve unlimited customers,
Yeah.
theoretically.
So it's the hyper growth.
The hyper growth
Gotcha.
in the period of time, in a short period
Very
of time.
short period of time.
And we're talking a few years, is what really drives venture capital, coupled with the fact that these are typically businesses that can't get other forms of capital that are tied to assets because they're very asset light. If you're Klarna, you might have a code base.
Yeah, so it's the
Nobody's
IP.
going to go give you a loan and be like,
on the IP.
if you default on this loan, I'm going to repossess your coding.
Like, gotcha. Yeah,
what?
It's not real estate that you can take. Yeah.
If
so that means
a
it's also
restaurant
very
can get a
risky
loan
too.
because they got equipment in there that somebody can come take. They got real estate somebody can come take if they don't pay back the loan.
But
so
the
it's
bank
very
won't be
risky.
Gotcha.
It's considered to be much more risky. Not to say that restaurant business isn't risky, because it is.
Of course.
But it's considered to be very risky. Most startups fail. And you are in a very early stage of the business where it can grow and still fail.
Yeah.
But it might grow. You might hit. And if you hit, you're going to hit in a way that you are not going to do with a restaurant or a consulting company or company, in my personal opinion, even a product-based company. Like, unless you're liquid death, you're not going to sell enough water to grow at a venture-backed pace.
Gotcha.
So I told some founders yesterday, I'm a entrepreneur in residence for Black Ambition.
Okay.
And I told some founders yesterday with Black Ambition, like, my personal opinion, product-based companies should not be taking venture capital. You are 99.9% likely to not be able to keep up with that pace and return that capital.
Now let's take it a step further, right? So that's what VC is. Thank you for sharing that. Now, as a founder, let's say you have that company and now you got to go and raise the capital with VC. It's not easy because people are giving you hard-earned money and trust that you're gonna 100x.
Some people are giving you their hard-earned money. Some of these venture firms got a lot of money that ain't hard-earned at all. Like, I wouldn't say that Elon Musk hard-earned his money.
Okay.
And he's gonna be a trillionaire, which is insane. Nobody should be a trillionaire.
Why not?
Why?
Because you can do more in the world, right?
Do you see Elon Musk doing more in the world?
Well, he's a different example, but if you have a trillionaire that actually trust and want better for the world, shouldn't they be doing more for the world?
Let me tell you this.
Ooh,
nobody will ever become a trillionaire by being a good person. Nobody even becomes a billionaire by being a good person. There is no good person who is a billionaire. So relying on the good graces and the conscience of someone who inherently has had to be a bad person to accumulate the wealth that they've gotten is not the way to go.
Interesting.
You have to take advantage of people, take advantage of resources, take advantage of ecosystems, and hoard in order to become a billionaire, let alone a trillionaire. There are people in Haiti doing what? Starving?
Yes.
Living bare minimum. And then you have Elon Musk, who's a trillionaire. How do you sleep at night? That's crazy.
Interesting.
There and people, you know, I go back and forth with folks about this all the time, because even though I very much believe in entrepreneurship, I very much believe that there has to be some level of wealth creation and generation in our communities. And I think that for Black people and Black businesses, entrepreneurship is the way.
Yeah.
I do not believe that Black capitalism is going to save us necessarily. And I don't believe that our way out is making a few people rich, because there are already Black billionaires.
Yeah.
What have they done for us? What has a Black billionaire done for you personally?
Nothing.
Exactly.
However, I get what you're saying. I think, to me, for example, when I look at some of the Black billionaires, it inspires me on what's possible, right? Because it's a different level of exposure.
But that's the trap of capitalism. The whole system in America is set up to inspire you about what's possible. That's very highly unattainable for the vast majority of people. And the whole ethos is you can pull yourself out by the bootstraps and anybody can become anything in America. Well, now, if that's the case, then why is it almost always the same looking people doing the same things that's getting all the things? Why all of us who look a certain way, who live a certain place, who have certain backgrounds, almost always are on the other side of the tracks. We're in Atlanta, where if you cross over 20, and right now we are in the West End neighborhood, which is where I went to school. I live a little bit south of here in the southwest side of Atlanta, the SWATs, for those who know. When you cross from north to South Atlanta, South Atlanta being much more Black than other places in Atlanta, the life expectancy drops by 10 years. But they're still telling people on this side of 20, you too can be a billionaire. No, the fuck you can't. And these people are not going to save you. They don't care about you. But as long as you have those examples to aspire to, you're not going to riot for what you actually deserve and are owed in this country while these people are hoarding the wealth.
Interesting. We might have to have a whole nother conversation
on this. That's a whole different podcast.
We might have to have a whole nother conversation on this.
Whole different podcast. But it's bad in the tech and startup ecosystem. You get all these little examples of people getting rich fast off of this money and blah, blah, blah. And almost all of them are white guys. Peter Thiels and Andreessens and Ben Horowitz and Elon Musk. And they're like I wish we didn't even know as much about them as we do now, because I might be less angry. But now that I've seen how horrible these people actually are, I'm like...
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, because you were GP for a VC firm, right?
Yeah.
So tell us more about that. Like, how does the VC firm work? Do you have to raise capital, or is
Yes.
it leveraging? Because you had an exit as well, and you've built something. So you've been a founder, and now you're an investor.
Yep.
You know,
So I'm putting my own money into the fund. So as
yeah,
my partner, I have another general partner, venture capital firm. So when you invest into a startup,
yeah.
you're investing in venture capital is equity based financing as
Meaning
opposed
you get
to
a percentage of
correct.
equity in a business
So
for
as
making
opposed
that
to debt
investment. Yeah,
where you're just gonna pay it back and that's it.
yeah,
We want a percentage of the business.
yeah.
We are hoping that that business grows exponentially
Mm-hmm.
so that that percentage becomes worth much more in the future than it
Yeah,
is today when I invest. Running a venture capital firm, I'm not investing just my own money. I'm
yeah.
fundraising from other people, taking that money and investing that money into startups
Uh-huh.
across, whatever my thesis is with my venture fund. And I'll tell you more about mine.
Yes, of course.
And then we are um, hoping that that grows. We see some good valuations
Mm-hmm.
and exits or other forms of liquidity events
Gotcha.
so that we can begin to return capital to our investors from
Yeah.
the fund. What we're doing with our fund, though, and why I've been on my soapbox about this whole billionaire
Yeah.
stuff and all this thing, because we are trying to redefine this model of venture capital.
Okay.
It has historically been predatory. It has historically locked Black people almost completely out. And when I say out, on both sides, as
Okay.
investors as
And
well as
wow.
being invested in as founders. And it makes a small handful of people rich to the exclusion of other folks. So how do we change that a little bit?
Yeah.
With our fund, which is called Fictive Ventures,
Mm-hmm.
we are focused on Black people. First of all, first and foremost, I focused on Black folks.
Gotcha.
Someone asked me about my fund, and I told them we invest into Black-led tech startups across the U.S. that are building products that we believe will either create a new market or expand an existing market. And they're like, "Oh, great. So you work with underrepresented founders." I said, "No, I
No.
do not work with underrepresented founders. I work with Black
Like founders.
founders."
Yeah.
I don't know why everybody's scared to say Black. I'm not scared to say Black, 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 Black,
Blackity
Black, Black,
black.
Blackity, Black, Black, Black. Black. Like,
Nah.
I work with Black people.
Yeah.
But not just in terms of who we're investing in.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the stage at which we're investing. We're coming in much earlier than most
Gotcha.
venture capital would. So that family and friends
Yeah.
round, we're willing to come in at that stage.
Gotcha.
When you are idea plus. So not I just rolled out of bed yesterday and was like, I got an idea. But there's some level of validation here. You have done some footwork to validate that this is actually a viable business that customers are interested in. And if we give you some money to grow this, to actually build this out and grow it, it could be a thing. So we'll come in at an earlier stage.
Yeah.
The reason why is because we feel like that's the stage where Black people really need the money and they don't get it.
Yeah, it's hard to get. So are you betting mostly on the Black person or the actual product?
Both, but I'll say when you're coming in that early, it's really the person. My mama told me a long time ago, ain't nothing new under the sun. Their idea, you got somebody that had it before. And she's right. I see the same ideas over and over. So it is a lot about the level of innovation and the execution.
Yeah.
Because I can find, let's rewind 100 years.
Yeah.
You can probably find a bunch of people who are building a better version of a carriage for horses, right? But can you find somebody who's building cars? Because that's the innovation.
Yeah.
So we're looking for innovation, which is out there. We are looking for validation.
Okay.
We are looking for above and beyond everything else, though, exceptional founders and entrepreneurs who are gonna make some shake. Like, have you ever met somebody, known them, they do something, and you're like, yeah, that tracks. Like, they go to jail, and you're like, unsurprised. Do you know anybody like that?
Yeah, of course.
Where you're like, I am completely unsurprised. That is not shocking to me. Now, also on the good side, have you ever met somebody or know anyone who has accomplished something phenomenal and you are unsurprised? You're like, yeah, actually, everything that I know about that person, of course they were able to accomplish that.
100%.
Exactly.
I can think of like 10.
Invest in those people. Those are the people that you want to invest in, that I want to invest in, where you're like, no, everything that I know about this person makes me believe 100% that they're going to accomplish some amazing shit. Of course.
Yeah. That level of, I see what you're saying, because now let me ask you this, right? You won't know everybody. So is it mostly you get your deal through referral?
No, I'm gonna know them. You're not invested. You can't invest at this stage in somebody you don't know, and not to say you know everything about them. We're not bosom buddies. Like, I don't talk to them on the phone every night till I fall asleep. But you get to know that person, because at this early stage you're investing in the founder or founders. You've got to know that they are coachable, that they're hungry, that they really know this market, that they have some level of insight, and they have some thoughts about the future and what the future can be that nobody else has or can replicate. And they're going to make some shit shake. Like, you've got to get to know them at least enough to know those things. So, no, I'm not like, oh, I read about this deal and I'm just going to send them some money and never talk to the founder. Absolutely not. But also because there's a few other things that we're doing with our fund that are, again, trying to change that model of venture capital so it actually works better for us. We're not just fueling the pure capitalism machine, but we're actually doing something that is both beneficial for our community, generates returns for us, and allows innovation to really come up out of our community. So we are investing into Black tech founders. We also are taking investments from all Black investors. Every single one of the people who's invested with us is Black.
Wow.
About 60% of those people have never invested in venture or startups before. So we're bringing them into this space, educating them, exposing them, showing them what this world is really about and what are the innovations out there that they can be a part of. They can be a part of that story to fuel. And then charging them with going on to make more investments into more startups. We think that these founders are building the future, and we want our people to be a part of that, number one. But then number two, we want to make sure that when these founders hit it big and they're writing checks back to their investors, we're getting that money too. And we are continuing to reinvest, not just get the money, cash out, go to the Bahamas and like live good, life forever. But we're continuing to reinvest because the founders are impacting our community with what they're building. They're impacting their employees with what they're building. And a lot of their employees look like us. They're impacting their families. Then when they grow that company, can do something with it and exit it, they then go on to impact more people. So you take somebody like Richelieu Dennis, for example. Shea Moisture. He sold Shea Moisture and then did what? He didn't ride off into the sunset with his money. Not to say he's not living comfortable, because he is.
He reinvested as a founder.
He reinvested a lot with new voices, reinvested into so many Black-led businesses. He's invested personally. He went and bought back Essence Magazine, which is really a cultural pillar of our community, so that it would be Black-owned again and continue to be such a big player in our culture and our community. So, and I'm not saying anything about him as a person, etc. But what I'm saying is that we want that model for us, for our investors, for our founders. We're continuing to reinvest. We're continuing to seed the next generation of innovation, and we're continuing to build with and amongst ourselves and our community in a way that impacts us all, not just small few.
I like that you're building this ecosystem that I think can change that will change the narrative. of our people. At the same time, I believe some of our people are going to become billionaires because of that narrative, right?
They may. That's not my goal. My goal is not to make our people billionaires, not to make a small handful of people billionaires. My goal is we're returning capital to people who can live comfortably, who can continue to reinvest, who can pass on a legacy, and something that allows us to at least have more equal access in this country and in this place that we live in than we had before. And when I say equal access, I'm not thinking about like, oh, you too can have a yacht. I'm thinking about, are we able to just live enjoyable lives? And make sure our kids have a chance to live enjoyable lives.
Grandkids.
And grandkids. And not be fighting for their life every generation. Not be like drowning in student loan debt. Not be with their mama at the layaway counter in the future. Like, that's what I'm thinking. And then above and beyond that, not only that, but we're able to seed into companies that are also improving our quality of life. So one of the companies that we're trying to bring together some capital for now has built a fully autonomous digital eye exam. You can go online, and you're a glasses wearer. I'm a former glasses wearer. Go online, take your eye exam. It takes about 10 minutes. You get your prescription immediately. You never meet with an optometrist. You don't have to have a prior prescription, which means you don't have to have gone to the optometrist before. So you can come into this cold and get your prescription while you are at home in the bed. And that is the type of innovation that we are really interested in fueling, and also the type of innovation that makes people's lives better,
and
easier.
It's exciting because that makes you want to get up in the morning knowing that you're not just changing an industry, but you're changing the way people do things.
Exactly. Because think about the folks, like I grew up in Savannah, Georgia, and there's a lot of country around Savannah. There are people who probably were nowhere near an optometrist. Folks who ain't never been to an optometrist a day in their lives because maybe they don't have insurance or maybe it's just too far or whatever. And so you have this kind of technology that opens this access up to so many more people and improves people's lives.
I love it. This is fantastic. Now, what's right now for your VC firm? Are you in a stage where you guys taking on more companies that's looking for capital, or are you more in a stage where you're looking more to raise capital so you can help more companies?
We're raising. And I'm trying to, I know I'm very visible in the startup space. And so founders are reaching out to me, and I try to be as transparent as I can. Like, look, I'm prioritizing fundraising because I can't give you money if we ain't got no money.
There we go.
So I'm fundraising my ass off for y'all. Just give me a little bit of time. I don't like to waste people's time. So I don't want to take you down a long road of meeting.
Yeah.
And I don't even got the money in the bank to send you. So I try to be respectful of folks' time, but I'm out here fundraising. I told you when we first came in, I've been in 6 cities in the last
I know. You've been
10
working.
days.
I've
been working. So I am raising my ass off. I ain't had no sleep.
Well, thank you for coming, y'all. She did this for us. You know what I mean?
I had no sleep because I believe that we can do something different in venture capital, and that I can be a part of that change to make it happen. Even the way that we write checks. There are some companies that our fund will write checks into that are not considered traditionally venture backable. I told you, I don't think product-based companies should be taking venture. Well, we are planning to use an instrument called a CISA, a CISA. Which is essentially like a royalty agreement. That's backed by a convertible note. And we're going to be using that for companies that we don't think are going to 100x in the next 5 years.
But still be able to provide capital to them.
That we want to be able to provide capital to them. And they're going to pay us back once they start reaching certain revenue thresholds. It's kind of like a loan. It can convert into equity.
Gotcha.
The paybacks are triggered by hitting certain revenue thresholds, and you're
Gotcha. Oh
paying us
wow,
back
that's really
on a
good.
revenue-based model
Yeah.
until you reach a certain threshold.
Yeah.
And so it will be more expensive capital
Of course.
than a traditional loan, but still more attainable for a product-based company than the typical loan, which you're not going to get typically.
Yeah, which is almost impossible to get.
Or the venture capital,
That
which
they're not
is
gonna
going to
get
put
either.
them into, they're probably not going to get it. And if they do, it's going to put them into a weird cycle of you got to grow.
Yeah.
And we've seen
and
that
much
kill.
stress, and it destroy the product sometimes.
And we've seen it. I mean, just a couple months ago, a very prominent Black-owned makeup company closed down.
Wow.
They ain't taking venture capital.
Wow.
Ami Cole.
Oh man.
And ostensibly was doing well. They were in Sephora. They had great distribution. But
yeah,
you gotta
the
grow
is kind of crumpled them, because probably impacted what they were doing.
And I mean, everything from tariffs and supply chain to trying to grow distribution, all sorts of things contributed to the closure of that company. And not knocking that founder at all, because this shit is hard. It's hard. It's hard. So not knocking that founder at all, but it is an illustration of why I don't think venture capital has a place in product-based companies like that.
Yeah.
And why, if you do want to be able to fuel those types of companies, you got to come up with a different model, which is a little bit of what we're trying to do.
What you guys are building. Wow, this is exciting. How do people get in touch with you? Maybe if they want to be part of the raise round, or is that even possible?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Absolutely. All of our current investors are individuals. Okay. So people who are interested in learning more about angel investing, venture capital, etc. Right now, our minimum check size is $20,000.
Okay.
So people can invest with us with as little as $20,000, and they don't even have to have it all at once. So the way that venture capital works, we bring in capital over the course of 2.5 to 3 years while we're actively investing.
Gotcha.
So we don't ask for money from our investors until we have some place to put it.
Gotcha.
Right now,
so it's just a commitment.
It's a commitment.
Okay.
And right now, we've called about 20% of the capital that people have committed to us.
Okay.
We'll do 4, maybe 5 more capital calls of somewhere between 15, 20-ish% each time. And so yeah, we're like, if you have 20K over the next 2 years, then you can be a part of what we're building. And we want to bring more people in, more folks who haven't invested in this space, because I think it is a great way to be a part of something bigger, see really interesting companies, and make a little bit of money. We're targeting 3x returns for our investors. So our goal is return you 3 times what you put in.
Within what, 5 to 7 years?
The life of our fund is 10 years.
Okay.
So our goal is we'll start distributing capital to our investors in year 6 of the fund.
Gotcha.
And then the life of the fund is 10 years, which is pretty standard for venture capital.
That's very important for people to understand too, because, they're like, I'm just going to put 20 grand here, I'm going to be rich tomorrow.
No.
Not knowing this is a long-term game.
Nothing is going to make you rich tomorrow. And if people are promising you're going to make all this money and blah, 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 like, no. And that's why we want to bring people into the fund and have a huge educational component of what we're doing. We do in-person educational sessions. We do virtual sessions monthly where you can ask us anything. We'll answer your questions. We do topical sessions talking about different tax benefits of venture capital and investing, or how to use a special purpose vehicle to invest into a company, all kinds of things.
We're going to have another conversation on that.
We want people to learn more and feel more confident to not just invest with us, but make their own investments. Our goal is the buck does not stop with us. You invest more capital with more people. Fantastic. That's the whole model.
So we're about to close things out. Thank you for an amazing session today. How do people reach out to you?
So me,
yes,
you can find me all over social media at Deja Don't Deja. That's my name in the streets.
Hey, let's go.
It's my name in the streets. But Deja Don't Deja, I'm probably most active on Instagram, Threads,
LinkedIn.
Very active with LinkedIn.
Yeah,
so you can find me Khadijah Robinson on LinkedIn. And I'm trying to get into Spill. I just got to find my people because, I'm always about the Black owned everything. So trying to get into Spill. I used to be such a Twitter person. I will never call it X. I used to be such a Twitter person, but that man ruined it all. Ruined it.
Well, thanks again. Any last word for small business owners that's listening to this? Like maybe a small biz tips you want to share?
People, apparently this is a controversial opinion and folks argue about this on social media all the time, but entrepreneurship is hard as fuck.
It's not easy.
It's hard. Entrepreneurship is hard. Sometimes it's going to drain your bank account.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it's going to drain your mental health.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's going to mess up your relationships.
Yes.
It's definitely going to mess up your sleep. It's something physical, even you would be out here stressed, fat, or skinny, entrepreneurship is hard. So, one, don't be afraid to pivot if needed, and also quitting is okay.
Y'all hear that?
Quitting is okay. Quitting is okay. As part of my family in Nigeria will say, I can't come and die. Don't die over this thing now. It's not that serious. It's okay to do something else.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming in, guys. Miss Khadijah Robinson.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.